लुईस तो आज हम लोग पढ़ रहे हैं अपना बायोलॉजी का कंप्लीट सिलेबस फॉर गवर्नमेंट एग्जाम्स। तो स्टार्ट करते हैं इंट्रोडक्शन। चैप्टर 1 बायोलॉजी, branch of the science in which living beings are studied. Biology has two branches, botany and zoology. The study of different aspects of plant. Theopteris is known as the father of biology. Zoology, study of various aspects of animals. Aristotle is is called a father of biology as well as zoology. Important term of biology: anatomy, study of the internal structure of organism; agrology, soil science dealing especially with the production of crops; agronomy, science of soil management and production of crops; or agroastrology, study of grass, if grass; arthology, study of joints; apiculture, rearing of honeybees for honey; anthropology, study of origin, development and relationship between culture and the past present human; anthropology, study of flower and flowering plant; angiology, study of blood vessels system including arteries and veins; andrology, study of male reproductive organ; bryology, study of bryophytes; biometric statistical study of biological problems; biomedical engineering, production and designing of the spare part for man for overcoming various defects in man. Example: artificial limb, iron lungs, pacemaker, etc. Technology connect with the living being for willful manipulation on molecular level. Bacteriology, study of bacteria; cytology, study of cells; cryobiology, it is a study of effect of the low temperature on organism and their preservation. Clone Clones are the genetically identical individual in a population. Cardiology, study of heart; demography, study of population diffusion; random movement of molecules, ions of gases from the region of higher concentration to lower concentration. Dermatology, study of skin; dendrochronology, counting and analyzing annual growth rings of trees to know its age; ecology, study of interrelationship between living and their environment; evolution, study of organ or origin of life, variation and formation of new species; embryology, study of the fertilization and development of zygote; eugenesis, study of factor connected with the environment, improvement of race; ethnosis, study of the science dealing with a different race of human; ethology, study of animal behavior; etology, study of life cycle of pathogens; entomology, study of insect; exobiology, study of possible of life in space; floriculture, cultivation of plant for their flower; food technology, scientific process, preservation, storage and transportation of food; forensic science, application of science for identical for various fact; civilians, fishery, catching, breeding, rearing and marketing of fishes; forestry, development of management of forest; fermentation, process of incomplete oxidation that occur in microbes and the other cell in absence of oxygen, leading to the formation and nation of ethyl alcohol; genetics, study of variation, transmission of character from the parent to their young ones; growth, permanent increase in the weight and volume of the size of an organism; gynecology, study of female reproductive organ; gynecology, study of aging; gastroenterology, study of alimentary canal, stomach, intestine and their diseases; hypertonic, when two solution have different subdued concentration, the solution at ion which have higher concentration is called hypertonic; hypotonic into solutions which have a layer solutions concentration is called hypotonic. Homothermic animal who have constant body temperature are called homothermo called caught warm blooded animal. Astrology study of tissue with the help of microscope. Hydroponic study of a growing plant without soil in water which contain nutrients. Hematology study of blood. Hepatology study of liver. Ichthyology study of feces. Immunology study of immunity or resistance of body or to diseases. Metrozoan multicellular animals are called the metazoa. Monoecious a plant which have both male and female flowers. Morphology study of external structures. Microbiology study of microorganisms. Study of microorganisms like bacteria, algae, fungi, and protozoa. Molecular biology study of molecular found in the body of the living organism. Medicine study of treating diseases of by drug. Mammography, a branch of the science which deal test of the breast cancer. Mycology study of fungi. Neurology study of nervous system. Neonatology study of newborn. Nephrology study of if kidney. Osmosis movement of water molecule across semi-permeable membrane from the region of its higher concentration and to the region of the lower communication concentration. Ontology study of the teeth and gum, or astrology study of bones, oncology study of cancer and tumors, obstetrics science connected with the care of pregnant women before, during, and after the childbirth. Ornithology study of bird, ophthalmology study of eyes, orthopedics diagnosis and repair of disorder of electrometric system. Phytoplanktons microorganisms which passively float on the surface of the water. Parasite organisms which depend on other living for their food and shelter. Poikilothermic organisms which change their body temperature according to surrounding there are also called cold-blooded animals. Sorry. Chapter 2: Cells and Tissue. Cells is a basic structural unit of life. Cell were first discovered by Robert Hooke. The smallest cell is 0.1 to 0.5 micrometer in bacteria. The largest cell, measuring 117 meter into 130 113 meter millimeter in, is the egg of an ostrich. Amova acquire its food from through endocytosis. Prokaryotic cells have no defined nucleus. Example: bacteria, blue and green algae. Eukaryotes, cells which have defined nucleus. Example other than bacteria and blue algae. Compound called proteins and phospholipids make up most of the cell membrane. Diffusion: it is a process of movement of the substance from region of high concentration to the region where its concentration is low. Water also obeys the law of diffusion. Example: substance like CO2 and O2 can move across the cell membrane by a process called the diffusion. Osmosis: the movement of the water molecule is called osmosis. Osmosis is a special case diffusion through the selectively permeable membrane. Types of osmosis: hypotonic, more water will come into the cell than will leave the cell is likely to swell up. Isotonic: the amount of the going in is the same as the amount going out of the cell. The cell will stay the same size. Hypotonic: more water leaves the cell than enter it. Therefore, the cell will shrink when a living plant cell lose water through osmosis. There are a shrinkage or concentration of the content of the cell away from the cell wall. This phenomena is known as plasmolysis. Cytoplasm, it is a fluid that fill a cell. Scientists used to call the fluid protoplasm. Ribosome, it is a it synthesizes protein, and endoplasmic plasmic reticulum send these proteins in the various part of the cell, whereas a smooth endoplasmic reticulum help in the manufacturing of fat. It is made up of ribonucleic acid. Function of these protein and fats. Protein and the fat lipid help in the building the cell membranes. The process is known as biogenesis. Smooth endoplasmic reticulum play a crucial role in detoxifying many poison and drugs. Golgi apparatus. It is another packaging originella like the endoplasmic reticulum function. It is the originally the word lysosome cell digestion machines. Lysosomes suicidal bags. It is a kind of the waste disposal system of the cell. Mitochondria powerhouse. The energy required for the various chemical activities header of for life is released by mitochondria in the form of ATP, adenosine triphosphate molecules. ATP is also known as energy currency of the cell. Mitochondria are the strange organelles in the sense that they have their own DNA and ribosomes. Therefore, mitochondria are the able to make their own proteins. Mitochondria is absent in bacteria and the red blood cells of the mammals and higher animals. Centrioles are the connected concerned with the cell division. It initiates cell division. Plastids, these are the present only in plant cells. Types of plastids: chromoplast, colorplast impart color to the flower and the fruit. Leucoplasm, white or the colorless plastids present in which starch, oils, and proteins are stored. Plastids are the self-replicating, i.e., they are the power to the divide as they contain DNA and RNA. Ribosomes, plastid contain pigment chlorophyll that is known as chloroplast. It is the site for the photosynthesis, non-living part within the cell. Vacuoles, it is a fluid filled spaces enclosed by the membrane. If its size in sorry its size in a animal is small, and in plant it is big. Amino acid and the sugar are stored in vacuoles granules. It is not the bounded by any membrane. It stores the fat, proteins, and carbohydrates. Cell nucleus. The cell nucleus acts as like an brain of the cell. It helps to control eating, movement, and reproduction. Not all the cell have the nucleus. The nucleus contains the following component. First, a nuclear envelope and nuclear membrane. Chromatin. When a cell is in a resting state, there are the something called the chromatin in a nucleus. In the nucleus, chromatins is made up of DNA, RNA, and nuclear proteins. DNA and RNA are the nucleic acid inside the cell. When the cell is going to divide, the chromatins become very compact. It condense when the chromatins comes together. We can see the chromosomes. Chromosomes make organism what they are. They carry all the information used to help a cell grow, thrive, and reproduce. Chromosomes are made up of DNA. Segments of DNA in a specific pattern are called genes. In prokaryotes, DNA floats in a cytoplasm in an area called the nucleus. Chromosomes are not always visible. They usually sit around the uncoiled and it loses shard called chromatids. Chromosomes are usually found in pairs. A human being probably have 46 chromosomes, 23 pairs piece, and only have 12. A dog has 78 chromosomes. The number of the chromosomes is not related to the intelligence or complexity of the creature. Nucleoids. It is a dense spherical granule contained within the nucleus. It stores the proteins. Cell division. The organism grow and reduce through the cell division. There are two methods of the replication: mitosis and meiosis. Mitosis, mitosis it duplicated its DNA, and are the two near cells. The daughter cell have the same piece and the genetic code. There are five steps in the process. You should remember the term MPM. MATI. It break down prophate metaphase, anaphase, telophase, and interphase. The main theme of the meiosis is that there are two cell division. Mitosis has one division. Some important fact regarding cell. A nervous cell in animal are the longest cell. Smallest human cell is red blood cells. Largest human cell is the female ovum. Single large cell in the world is the of an ostrich. Smallest cell are those of the mycoplasm. Every minute, about 3 million cells in our body dies. Steep tube is an implant and mature mammalian. Red blood cells do not have a nucleus. A red blood cells carries respiratory gases. Sieve cells in plant transport nutrition in plant. The lysosomal enzyme of the sperm cell digest the limiting membrane of the ovum egg. Thus, the sperm is able to enter the ovum. During the transformation of the tadpole into frog, the embryonic tissue like the gills and the tails are digested by the lysosome. Mitochondria contain DNA, hence capable of replication. The matrix is the transparent, homogeneous semi-fluid substance. It is an active state. It remains saturated with water. Epithelial tissue. On the basis of the cell layer, when a epithelium has a single layer of the cell, it is called a simple epithelium. Where second where and multiple tier of their cell are known as stratified epithelium. On the basis of the simple shape of a cell cubicle, it occurs in it is in the kindly tubules, salivary gland, inner lining, and the checks of the checks. Its main function is to give mechanism state. Columnar. It occurs in a sweat gland, tears gland, salivary gland. Its main function is to give mechanical strength concerned with the secretions. Squamouses, when it forms living as that of blood vessels, it is called the endothelium. Its main function is to protect the underlying part of the from injury, enter of the germ, etc. Connective tissue. Its main function is to mend and support other tissue. There are few types of connective tissues: areolas, tendons, ligament, adipose, skeleton, bones and cartilage, fluid, liver, blood and lymph. Aerosol tissue. It fill a space inside organs found around the muscle, body, vessels, and nerves. Its main function is to join skin to muscles, support an internal organ, help in the repair of the tissue. Whereas the tendons' main function is to connect muscles to the bone and ligament. It connect bones to each other. Adipose tissue. Its occurrence is below skin, between internal organs and in the yellow bone marrow. The main function it is stored to fat and conserve heat. Skeleton tissues, bones and cartilages. Occurrence in it is in nose, epiglottis, and the intervertebral disc of mammal. Its Its main function is to provide support and flexibility to body part, whereas bone protect internal delicate organ, provide attachment for the muscles. Bone marrow makes blood cells, fluid tissue, blood and lymph, blood transport O2 nutrition, hormones to tissue and the organs whereas leukocytes fight disease and platelets help in clotting of blood. Lymph transport nutrition into the heart, and it also form the defense system of the body. Muscular tissue, it is a specialized for the ability to contract muscle cells. Type of muscle cells, skeleton muscle, it attaches the primary to the bones. Its main function is to provide the force for locomotion and all over the voluntary movement of the body. Cardiac muscles, it occur only in the heart. The concentration and the relaxation of the heart muscle help to pump the blood and distribute it is to various part of the body. Smooth muscles, it can be found in stomach, intestine, and the blood vessel. These muscles cause slow and prolonged contractions, which are involuntary nervous tissue. This tissue is specialized with the capacity to conduct electrical impulse and convey information from one area of the body to another. Most of the nervous tissue, 98% of this, is local in the center nerve cell, the brain, and the spinal cord. Types of the nervous tissue: neuron and neurological. Important fact regarding animal tissue: muscles contain a special protein called the contractile protein. Fat storing the adipose tissue is found below the skin and the between internal organs. Two bones are connected to each other by tissue called ligament. This tissue is very elastic. To the skin, the living of the mouth, the living blood vessels, kidney, tubules are all made up of epithelial tissue. Voluntary muscle and cardiac muscle are richly supplied with the blood. Involuntary muscles are the poorly supplied with blood. Chapter 3: Muscular and Skeletal System. Skeleton system of various animals. Skeleton are the either of the fluid filled body cavity, exoskeleton, or internal skeleton. Note: spider use combination of an exoskeleton for protection and fluid pressure for movement. Shark and the ray have a skeleton composed entire of the cartilages, with other vertebrates have an embryonic cartilage progression replaced by the bone as they mature and develop. Some areas of the human body, however, retains cartilage in an adult in a joint and flexible structure such as a ribs, trachea, nose, and ear. The upper bone of the limbs are the single humerus, arms, and the femur leg. Below a joint, elbow, or knees, both limbs have a pair of the bones, radius and the ulna in the arms, tibia, and fibula in a leg that connect another joint, wrist or ankle. The carpals make up the wrist joint. The tarsal are in the ankle joint. Bones have a cell embedded in mineralized calcium matrix and the collagen fibers. The spongy bones of the femur, humerus, and the sternums contain red marrow in stem cell produce and the form the cellular component of the blood immune system. Yellow marrow is at the center. These bones is used to store fat. The outer layer of the body bones is known as peristomium. When fracture occur, the pain is carried to the brain by the nerves running through the periosteums joints. A joint is a location at which the two bones are make contact and is essential for all types of movement involving the bony part of the body. Vinual joint. Well joint, they are characterized by the presence of the closed space or cavity between the bones. The kind of the joint are classified into six major categories. Planes, gliding joints present between carpals, only sliding motion of all direction is allowed. Hinge joint present between knee joint. Pivot joint between the atlas and axis. Saddle joints present between carpal and metacarpal. Ball and socket joint present between humerus and the pectoral girdle. Disorder of the muscular and skeletal system. Myasthenia gravis, autoimmune disorder. It affects the neuromuscular transmissions, muscular dystrophy, progress, skeleton muscles weakened, weakness, defect in muscle protein, the death of the muscles, cell, and the tissue, rheumatoid arthritis, inflammation of the submural membrane, osteoarthritis, degeneration of articular cartilages caught by the excess formation of the uric acid and their deposition in the joint. Osteoporosis, low bone mass, increased fragility, and progress or to fracture. Chapter 4, Nervous System. The central nervous system (CNS) includes the brain and the spinal cord. The peripheral nervous system (PNS) has connected CNS to the other part of the body, and it composed of nervous bundle neurons. The neuron tissue is composed of two main cells called types neurons and the glial cells. The neuron transmit nerve message. The glial cell are in direct contact with the neurons and often surrounded them. The neurons is a functional unit of the nervous system. Humans have about 100 billion neurons in their brain alone. Function of these part of the neurons axon. It conduct message away from the cell to another to the body. From the body cell dendrites, it receives the information from the axon and another cell and conduct a message toward the cell body. Cell body contain nucleus, mitochondria, and other organelles. It is mainly concerned with the maintenance and the growth. Synapses, the junction point of the neural cells called another cell is called the synapse. The shape between two cells is known as a synaptic cleft. The function between two neurons is called a ganglion. Human eyes is like a camera. Its lens system form an image on a light sensitive screen called the retina. The eyeball is approximately spherical in shape with diameter of 2.3 centimeter. The eye lens form an inverted real image of the object on the retina. The retina is a dilate membrane having a numerous number of the light sensitive cells. Cornea. Light entered the eyes through the thin membrane called the cornea. It is the eye's outermost layer in the clear dome-shaped surface that cover the front of the eyes. It play an important role in focusing your vision. The pupil is a hole located in the center of the iris of the eye that allow the air light to strike the retina. It appears black because the light ray entering the pupil are either absorbing by the tissue inside the eye directly or absorbing after diffusion reflection within the eye. The pupil regulates the contract, control and amount of the light entering the eye. Iris. It is a dark muscular diagrams that can control the size of the pupil and thus the amount of the light reaching the retina. Ciliary muscle. The ciliary muscle is a ring of smooth muscle in the eye's middle that control accumulation for viewing object at very distance and regulate the flow of the aquatic lumiere scheme, sorry, Slim's canals, it change the shape of the lens within the eyes, not the size of the pupil. The light sensitive cells get activated upon the illumination and generation electric signals. So these signals are sent to the brain via optical nerves. The brain interprets these signals and finally process the information so that we perceive object as they are. Note that when the light is very bright, the iris contract the pupil to allow less light enter that and the eyes light to enter the eyes. However, in dim light, the iris expand the pupil allowed to more light to enter the eyes. Thus, the pupil open completely through a relaxation of the iris. A human being has a horizontal field of view of about 150 degree with one eye of the about 118 with two eyes. Human brain. The brain is the most important complex part of the human body. This is the three. This 3 pound organ is the seat of intelligent interpreter of the senses and initiator of the body movement and controller of behavior. The human can be divided into three basic units: forebrain, midbrain, and hindbrain. The forebrain is the largest main thinking part of the brain. It is a region which receives sensory impulses from various receptors. Separate areas of the forebrain are specialized for hearing, smell, sight, and so on. The midbrain connect the forebrain to the hindbrain. The hindbrain control the body's vital functions such as aspiration and heart rate. Cerebrum, the largest part of the human brain. It is at the topmost part of the brain. Uh, it is a source of intellectual activities. It holds your memory, allows you to plan, to enable, to imagine, and the think. It also you to recognize friend, read book, and the play games. It control the voluntary motor actions. It is the seat of the learning and memory. It is the site of the sensory perception like tactiles and auditory perception. It is divided into two hemispheres called the cerebral hemisphere. Hydro Hypothalamus. It is lies at the base of the cerebrum. It consists sleep and wake cycle, circadian rhymes, circadian rhymes of the body. It also controls the urges for the eating and drinking. It get adrenal flown during the test of the job interview. Cerebellum. Cerebellum. अभी तक मैंने हाइपोथैलेमस पढ़ा था, अब पढ़ेंगे सेरिबेलम. इट लाइज बिलो द सेरिबेलम एंड इट द बैक ऑफ द होल स्ट्रक्चर. इट कोऑर्डिनेट द मोटर फंक्शन. It is responsible for the precision of the voluntary actions and maintaining the position and balance of the body. Example, when you are riding your bicycle, the prefer coordination because your pedaling and steering control is achieving by the cerebellum medulla. It forms the brain stem along with the pons. It lies at the base of the brain and continue into the spiral cord. It control various involuntary functions. Example, heartbeat, respiration, size of the pupil, blood pressure, salivation, and vomiting, etc. Thalamus are the major clearing house for information going to the end from the spinal cord. The cerebrum fluid, CFC, is watery fluid that is circulates through the brain's ventricles, cavity, or halo spaces and around the surface of the brain and spinal cord. Chapter 5. Chapter 5, Endocrine System. Hormones. The hormone system is made up of glands that produce sensory secret hormones, chemical substance produced in a body that regulate the activities of cell or organs. These hormones regulate the body growth, The metabolism, the physical chemical process of body, the sexual development and function. Endocrine gland not a part of endocrine system, secret produced product that are the produced outside the body. The sweats glands, salivary gland and the digestion gland are the example of endocrine gland. Hormones are grouped into three classes based on their structure: steroids, peptides, amines. The nervous endocrine system, the pituitary gland, often called the master gland, is located in a small bone cavity at the base of the brain. A stalk link the pituitary or to the hypothalamus, which control release and pituitary hormone. The pituitary gland has two lobes, the anterior and the posterior lobes. Too little or too much GH can cause dwarfism and gigantism, respectively. Prolactin is secreted near the end of pregnancy and prepare the breast for the milk production. The posterior pituitary ADH, anti-diuretic hormones control the water balance in a body and the blood pressure. Oxytocin is a small peptide hormones that simulates urine contractions during childbirth. The thyroid secreted is usually higher in winter than in summer. Endocrine, the postal system of the communication and coordination. Hormones are the chemical substance manufactured by the organic organs called the endocrine gland and ductile gland. Ductiles are the also sometimes called endocrine glands. Endocrine glands of the body. Adrenal gland, the adrenal gland, also known as suprarenal gland, or endocrine gland, are the produce a variety of hormones, including adrenaline, are the found above the kidney. Hypothalamus. The hypothalamus is a portion of the brain that contain number of small nuclei with various functions linked to the nervous system to the endocrine system via pituitary gland. Pituitary gland, it is an endocrine gland about the size of the pen and weighing about zero point 0.5 grams in human. Hormones secreted from the pituitary gland which control growth, blood pressure, certain function of the sex organ, metabolism, pregnancy, childbirth, nursing, water salt connecting, temperature regulation, pain relief. The pituitary gland is also called the master gland of the human body. Thyroid. The thyroid gland, or simply thyroid, is one of the largest endocrine gland in the body. It is found in the interior neck below the Adam's apple. It secretes two hormone triodo of ithros T3 and tet, te- tetrodotoxin T4 are called the tyrosine. Both these hormones contain iodine. Hypothyroidism, hypo under the diminishing thyroid activity. Hypothyroidism in the childhood give rise to a condition called serotonism. It control rate of the use of energy source protein synthesis, control the body sensitivity to the other hormones. Goiter it is called the enlarged of the thyroid gland. It manifests itself as a swelling in the neck. A goiter may be associated with the increased normal or decreased activities of the thyroid gland. The government of India launched the Universal Salt Awareness Program in 1986. The pancreas is a glandular organ in the digestive system and endocrine system of the vertebrates. In human, it is located in the abdominal cavity, which cavity behind the stomach. It produces several important hormones including insulin, glucosin, stomatasin, stomatins, and pancreatic polypeptide which circulate in the blood. The pancreas is also digestive organ secreting pancreas juice containing digestive enzymes that assist digestion and absorption of the nutrient in a small intestine. These enzymes help to further break down the carbohydrate, protein, and lipid in the cypem. Reduction of the quantity of effective insulin give rise to diabetes, diabetes, suppose mellitus of the honey, commonly called simply diabetes, saliva, maltase, gastric juice, pepsin, renin, pancreatic juice, trypsin, amylases, ellipses, intestinal juice, erythritol, metallase, lactylase, sucrose, lipase. Chapter 6, Lymphatic System Immunity. In the lymphatic system, the spleen serves as a reservoir for the blood and filter or purify blood and lymphatic fluid that flow through it. If the spleen is damaged or removed, the individual is more susceptible or to infections. Immunity antibodies. Antibodies are a type of protein molecule known as immunoglobulin. Blood is a fluid connected tissue. The quantity of the blood in the human body is 7%. The total weight 7% of the total weight. The pH value of blood is 7.4. There are average 5 to 6 liter blood of the human body. Female contain half liter of the blood less in the comparison to male. It also fight infection and regulate temperature. Blood cells are produced in a bone marrow. Main function of the blood cells. Blood are the transport oxygen, carbon dioxide, water, nutrients, hormones, and the waste around the body. Blood are the also fight infection and regulate temperature. Body blood has the four component: plasma, red blood capsules, blood, white capsules, platelets. Plasma, liquid portion of the blood. It contain about 54 of our blood and 92% of its water. Its main functions are maintaining satisfactory blood pressure, volume, and for supplying critical protein for blood clotting and immunity. Medium of exchange of vital minerals such as sodium and potassium help to maintain proper pH. Acid-base balance in the body, which is critical to cell fractions functions. Red blood capsules carry oxygen. Red blood cells are the disc-shaped cell contain hemoglobin. Hemoglobin enable the cell to pick up the delivery oxygen of all part of the body, then pick up the carbon dioxide and removal it from the tissue. Its lifespan is 20 days to 120 days and are then broke down into pigment called the bilirubin and the biliverdin in the liver. The destruction take place in the liver and spleen. Therefore, liver is called the grave of RBC. They are made in the bone marrow. They have no nucleus. Oxyhemoglobin, oxygen is equal to oxygen-rich hemoglobin. Deoxyhemoglobin, low oxygen hemoglobin, white blood capsules. White blood cells. It defined body from infection. White blood cells, also called leukocytes. White cells are the body primary defense against the infections. They come move of the body systems and reach tissue to fight infection. They are the essential for good health. Its lifespan is to form 1 to 2 days. The white blood cells have the nuclei and also made in the bone marrow. Platelets responsible for clotting. The platelets are the cells that are circulate with the blood within our blood and bind together when they recognize damaged blood vessels. Study of blood is called the hemometallurgy. Chapter number 7, Circulatory System. Human heart. The human heart is an organ that pumps blood throughout the body via circulatory system, supplying oxygen and nutrition to the tissue and removing carbon dioxide and other waste. The human heart has four chambers. The right atrium and the right ventricles together make up the right heart. The left atrium and the left ventricles make up the left heart. A cell, a wall of the muscles called the septum, separate the two sides of the heart. Valves prevent backflow, keeping the blood flowing in one direction through the heart. A double-walled sac called the pericardium encloses the heart, which serves to protect the heart and anchors it into the chest. Between the outer layer, the pericardium, and inner layer, the serous pericardium runs. pericardial fluid, which lubricate the heart during contraction and movement of the lungs and diaphragms. The heart outer wall consisting of three layers. The outermost wall layer of or epicardium is the inner wall of the pericardium. The middle layer of the myocardium contains the muscles that contract. The inner layer on endocardium is the lining that contract the blood. The sinoatrial nodes produces the electrical pulses that drive the heart contracting. Human heart function. The heart circulates blood through two pathways. The pulmonary circulation, second the systematic circulation. In pulmonary circulation, deoxygenated blood leaves the right ventricles of the heart via the pulmonary arteries and travel to the lungs, then return to as oxygenated blood to the left atrium of the heart via the pulmonary veins. In a systematic circular circuit, oxygenated blood leaves the body via the left ventricles to the aorta, and from the enter the arteries and the capillaries, where it supplies the body's tissue with oxygen. Deoxygenated blood return via veins to the vena caves, re-entering the heart's rate atrium. The cardiovascular system circulates blood from the heart to the lungs and around the body via the blood vessels. The blockage of any artery can cause a heart attack or the damage of the muscular of the heart. Heart attack is a distinguished from the cardiac attack, which is the sudden loss of the heart function that usually occurs as a result of electrical disturbance of the heart rhythm. The heart contains electrical pacemaker cells. Which cause it to contract, producing a heartbeat. The aorta the sorry out the outer is the main artery leaving the heart. The pulmonary artery is the only artery that carries oxygen poor blood. The pulmonary artery carries deoxygenated blood to the lungs. The veins have valves that prevent backflow of blood. Important point, aorta, the large artery in the blood. It carries oxygen-rich blood away from the heart to the vessel that reaches the rest to the body. Atria, the chamber of the heart to which the blood returns from the circulation. Capillaries, the smallest of the body blood vessel. Oxygen and glucose pass through the capillaries wall and enter the cells. Waste products such as carbon dioxide pass back from the cell into the blood through the capillaries. Cardiac valves, heart valves, any of the four heart valves that regulate the flow of the blood through the chamber of the heart. Oxygenated blood, oxygen-rich blood, deoxygenated blood, oxygen-poor blood. Heart ventricles, the lower right and the left chamber of the heart. Interventricular septum. Interventricular septum is the short wall separating the lower chamber and the ventricles of the heart one another. Lungs, one of the pair of organs, is the chest that supply the blood and the oxygen to removal carbon dioxide from the body. Myocardium, the muscular substance of the heart, the middle of the three layer forming the outer wall of the human heart. The pulmonary artery and its branches deliver blood rich in the carbon dioxide and lacking in oxygen to the capillaries that surround the air sacs. The pulmonary circulation, the circulation of the blood through the lungs. The pulmonary veins, the veins that return the oxygenated blood from the lungs to the left atrium of the heart. The superior vena cava, the large vein that carries blood from the head, neck, arms, and the chest of to the heart. Vena cava, a large vein which return blood from the head, neck, and the extreme to the heart. Endothelium is the innermost layer of the blood vessel that consists of just a single layer of the cell. Veins are the blood vessels are that carries blood to the heart in the even flow that they have a thin walls, large lumens and valves. A pulse is a alternated contraction and relaxation of an artery as a blood passes through it. Blood pressure is a force blood exerted on the wall of the blood vessel. Um, Gamanometer is used for measuring blood pressure, normally 120 upon 18 millimeter Hg. Atherosclerosis is a hardening of artery walls due to a build up of fatty deposits. Smoking cause heart rate and blood pressure to increase. High diet is saturated fat, increasing blood pressure and ath- atherosclerosis. Exercise help other blood pressure other blood pressure blood grouping further of the blood grouping. Carl Landaustrian, he discovered AB and O blood groups. De Costello and Struele discovered AB blood group. Rh factor, it is a broad antigens found in RBC. A person can be Rh positive or Rh negative depending upon the presence of Rh factor in RBC. Rh plus can Rh plus can receive blood from the both Rh plus and Rh minus, but Rh minus, but Rh minus can receive blood only from Rh minus only. Blood transfusion technique was developed by the Dr. James Blundell's Chapter 8 Reproduction System. A sexual reproduction system allows that an organism to rapidly produce many offspring without the time and the resources committed to courtship, finding a mate and the mating. The hydro produces birds. Starfish can regenerate an entire body from a fragment of the original body. The sexual reproduction in the sexual reproduction, new individual and produced by the fusion two of haploid gamete to form a diploidic zygote. Sperm are made of male gamete, singular, or are female gamete. Meiosis produce cells that are genetically distinct from each other. Fertilization is a fusion of two such distinguished cells, human reproductive and deployment. Gonad are the sex organ that produce gametes. Male gonads are the testes which produce sperm and the male sex hormones. Female gonads are the ovaries which produce egg, ova, and the female sex hormones. The male reproductive system, sperm being at the puberty that contain throughout the life, with thus several hundred million sperms being produced each day. Once sperms form, they move into the epididymis, where the mature and the stored external genital. The female external genitals are the collectively known as a vulva. Sexually transmitted diseases (STD) can affect the sex partner, fetus, and the newborn infant. STDs are the grouped into three categories. Category 1: STDs are the produce inflammation of the urethra, epidermis, cervix, or oviduct. Gonorrhea and chlamydia are the most common STDs in the categories. Both diseases can be treated and curbed with antibodies and diagnosed. Category 2: STDs that produce sores or the external genitals, herpes, and that is the most common disease in the class. Symptoms of the herpes can be treated by the antiviral drugs, but the infection cannot be curbed. Sepsis is a bacterial caused infection and can be left untreated, causes serious symptoms and death. However, the disease is curable with antibodies. Category 3: this class of the STDs include viral diseases that affect the organ system other than those of the reproductive system. AIDS and the hepatitis B are in the category. Both can be spread by the sexually contact or the blood infection. Infectious individual may appear systematic free for years and after infection. The separation of the intercourse from the pregnancy uses method blocking one of the three stages: reproduction, release, and the transport of the gamete, fertilization, implantation, plant reproduction, flower production, flower Flower. Reproductive part of the flower are the stamen, male collectively termed as the androecium, and the carpel. Often the carpel is referred to as the pistil, the female part of the collectively termed the in gymnasium. Pollen. The pollen grains contain the male gamophytes, microgamophytes phase of the plant. They are produced by meiosis of the microspore mother cells that are located along the inner edge of the anther sac. Microspongia. And the pollination, the transfer of the pollen grains from the anther to the female stigma and termed pollination. So this is accomplished by the varied method. Anthomorphy is a transfer of pollen by an insect. Anemophily is a transfer of pollen by wind. Other pollinators include bird, wet, water, and hums. Double fertilization, the process of pollination being accomplished by the pollen tube grow through the stigma and style toward the ovum and the ovary fruit. The ovary walls after fertilization has occurred development into fruits. Fruit may be fleshy, hard, multiple, or single. Note seed germinate and the embryo grow into the next generation saprophytes. Chapter number 9, digestion system. The digestion system stages and digestive process. First, movement, propel food through the digestive system. Second, secretion, a release of digestive juice in response to the specific stimulation. Digestion, breakdown of food into molecular component, a small component to cross plasma membrane. Absorption, the passes of the molecular into the body interior and their passage throughout the body. Elimination, removal of the undigested food and water. The human digestive system is a coiled muscular tube 6 to 9 meter long when the fully extended, stretched from the mouth of the anus, the mouth and the pharynx. Chemical breakdown of starch by production of salivary amylases from the salivary gland into glucose. This mixture of the food and saliva is then pushed into the pharynx and the esophagus. The stomach, gastric juice in a stomach contain hydraulic acid, HCl, peptidoglycan and mucus function of hydraulic acid. It kills microorganisms. It lowers the stomach pH to the between 1.5 and 2.5. It lowers the pH of the stomach, so pepsin is activated. Pepsogens is an enzyme that start a protein digestion and control the hydrolysis of protein into peptides. CYP, and the mix of acid and food in the stomach leave the stomach and enter the small intestine. Alcohol and aspirin and absorbed through the stomach lining into the blood. Epithelial cells secrete mucus that form a protective barrier between the cells and the stomach. Acid peptic nuclear result when these protective mechanisms fail. Bleeding nuclear result when a tissue damage is so sub that a bleeding occurs into stomach. Perforated nuclear are the life threatening situation where a hole are formed in the stomach wall. At least 90% of all peptic nuclei are caused by Helicobacter pylori. Other factors, including stress and aspirins, can be produced nucleus. The small intestine is a major site of the digestion absorption of nutrition. It is about 22 feet 6.7 meter long. A part of a small intestine, duodenum, jejunum, ileum. Sugar and amino acid go into the bloodstream via the capillaries into the each villus. Glycerol and fatty acid go into the lymphatic system. Starch and glycogen are broken down into metatose by small intestine enzymes. Metatose Metallose, sucrose, and lactulose are the main carbohydrate present in the small intestine. They are absorbed by the microvilli enzyme in the cell, converted these disaccharides into the monoacid acids then leave the cell to enter the capillaries. Gluten enteropathy is an ability to absorb gluten, a protein found in wheat. Fat digestion is usually completed by the time the food reaches the ileum, the lower third of the small intestine. While salt are in the term absorbed in the ileum are the recycled by the liver and gallbladder. The liver produces and send bile to the small intestine via the hepatic duct, while contain gastric phospholipid, bilirubin, and the mix of the salt. In addition to digestive function, the liver plays several other roles. First, detoxification of blood. Second, synthesis of the blood protein. Third, digestion, destruction of old eukaryotic and the conversion of hemoglobin into component of the bile, production of bile. Fifth, storage of the glucose as glycogen, and it release when the blood sugar level drop. Production of the urea and amino group and ammonia. Gallbladder, it store excessive bile for release at lateral time. We can live without our gallbladder. In fact, many have had their removed. The drawback, however, is need to be aware of the amount of the fat in the food they eat, since the stored bile of the gallbladder is no longer available. Glycogen is a polysaturated made of the chain of the glucose molecules in plant starch stored in the form of the glucose, while animal use glucogen for the same purpose. Low glucose level in the blood cause the release of hormones such as glucagon that travel to the liver and stimulate the breakdown of the glucogen into the glucose, which is then released into blood, raising blood glucose level. When no glucose or the glucogen is available, amino acid are the converted into glucose in the liver. The process of the determination removal of amino groups from the amino acid urea is formed is passed through the blood to the kidney for export of the body. Conversely, hormones insulin promote the take up the glucose into the liver cell and its formation of into glycogen. Liver diseases, jaundice occur when the characteristic yellow tint of the to the skin is caused by excessive hemoglobin breakdown product in the blood, a sign that the liver is not properly functioning. Hepatitis A, B, C are the vital diseases that are caused liver damage. Chloriosis. The chloriosis of the liver commonly occur in alcoholic who placed the liver in a stress situation due to amount of alcohol to be broken down. Chloriosis can cause the liver to become unable to perform its biochemical functions. Chemical responsible for blood clotting are synthesized in the liver as it albumin, the major protein in blood. The large intestine. The large intestine is made up of by the colon, cilium, appendix, and the rectum. Digestion in animal fat. Starfish feed on the animal covered by the half shell of calcium carbonate. The saliva break down the starch into sugar. The liver situation in the upper part of the abdomen on the right side. It is a large gas gland in the body. In the process of the digestion, carbohydrates get broken down into simple sugar such as glucose, fat into fatty acid, and glycerol protein are into amino acid. The grass is in it's such in glucose, a type of the carbohydrates human cannot digest. Cellulose. Ammonia is a microscopic single celled organism found in pond water. When it sends food, it pushes out one or more finger like projection pseudophodia around the food particles and engulf it, and then the food become trapped in the food vacuoles. Chapter 10. The excretory system. Excretory system in various animal component of the system in vertebrates include the kidney, liver, lungs, and the skin. Waters and the salt valence osmoregulation refer to the state aquatic animal are in. They are surrounded by the fresh water and must continuously deals with the influx of water. Human excretory system. The urinary system is made up of the kidney, uterine bladder, and the urethra and the nephron. At the an evolutionary modification of the nephridium is the kidney function unit. Nephrons has three functions. First, glomerular filtration of the water and solutes from the blood. Second, tubular reabsorption of water and conserved molecules back into the blood. Third, tubular secretion of ions and other waste production from the surrounding capillaries into the distal tubules. Kidney stones. In some cases, excesses based crystalline as kidney stones. They grow and can become a painful irritant that may require surgery or ultrasound treatment. Kidney functions maintain volume of the extracurricular fluid maintain ionic balance in the extracurricular fluids, maintain pH and osmosis concentration of the extracircular fluids, excrete toxic metabolic byproduct such as urea, ammonia, and uric acid. Kidney, the fascinating filtration nephron is the filtration unit of the kidney. Excessive eating, polyphagia, excessive drinking, polydipsia, and too much of the urine, polyuria, are the three cardinal symptoms of diabetes. The hypothesis produce a chemical substance called the antidiabetic hormones ADH. The adrenal gland maintains the regulating salt in the body and is located in an organ lying just over the kidney. As soon as the salt sodium concentrated becomes just a little less than normal, it releases into the blood stream a substance called the aldosterone. Renal transplantation of dialysis artificial kidney are the support measure. When the damage to the kidney reaches a certain point, hormones control of the water and salt water reabsorption is controlled by the anti-diuretic hormones ADH. Its negative feedback, ADH is released from the pituitary gland in the brain. Dropping level of fluid in the blood signal the hypothalamus to cause pituitary to release ADH into the blood. ADH acts as an increased water absorption in the kidney. Aldosterone, a hormone secreted by the kidney and regulates the transfer of sodium from the nephron to the blood. When the sodium level in the blood falls, aldosterone is released into the blood, causing more sodium to pass into, from the nephron to the blood. This causes water to flow into the blood by osmosis. Renin is released into the blood to control adrenaline. Chapter 11, Diversity in Living Organisms. Biodiversity refers the number of the types of wide variety of plant and animal present on the earth. In 1773, Swedish botanist Cornelius Linnaeus formulated the system of binomial nomenclature in his book two part. First generic name and second specific name. Taxonomy is a branch of biology that deals with the framing of law and principle for classifying the organism on the basis of their characteristic and evolutionary relationship. The hierarchical system of classification was introduced by Linnaeus. Kingdom, phylum or division, class, order, family, genus, species. The species defined as the smallest real basic unit of taxonomy, which is reproductively isolated from the group of individual. Genus is the group of the closely related species are like in a broad feature of their organism. Uh, Family is a group of related genera. Genera have several common characteristics. Generally, order the other higher taxonomic categories are identified based on an aggregate of the characteristic. A class is made of one or more related order. The term phylum is used for the animal, while division is commonly employed for the plant. Kingdom is the highest taxonomy category. All plants are included in the kingdom Plantae. All the animal are included in kingdom Animalia. Herbarium is a collection of the pressed and dried plant specimens that are preserved on paper, seed in a botanical garden. Various plant group are grown for scientific study, conservation, public education, atheistic, atheistic and recreation. The famous botanical garden are Kew, England, India Botanical Garden, Howrah, India, the National Botanical Research Institute, Lucknow, India, museum in the building used for the preservation, storage, and exhibition of the inanimate object. Zoological park or zoological garden or the zoo is a place where the wild animals are kept in protect environment under the human care. These animals are kept for the public exhibition. History of classification. Biological classification was first proposed by the Aristotle, who used introduced the simple morphological characters of the classified plant and animal. Linnaeus initially spread plant and animal into kingdom I, kingdom of plant, kingdom plantae, and kingdom animalia. Most accepted system of the classification is five system classified, which was given by Whittaker. Kingdom Monaria. The bacteria are categorized underneath the kingdom Monaria. Bacteria occurs everywhere and they are microscopic in nature. They possess cell wall and prokaryotic. The cell wall is formed of amino acid and polysaccharides. Bacteria can be heterotrophic and autotrophic. The heterotrophic bacteria can be parasite or the saprophytic. The autotrophic bacteria can be chemosynthetic or the photosynthetic. Kingdom Protista, they are the unicellular eukaryotic. Some of them have cilia or the frigil for mobility. Since sexual reproductive is by the process of cell fusion and zygote formation. Kingdom Fungi, fungi are the filamentous, excluding yeast, single-celled. Their features comprise of slender long thread-like construction called the hyphae. The web of hyphae is called mycelium. Some of the hyphae are unbroken tubes, which are the gem-picked with multi-nucleated cytoplasm. Such hyphae are the level coniphytic hyphae. And the other type of hyphae has cross walls or septi. The cell wall of the fungi is composed of polysaturated and the chitin. Most of the fungi are saprophytes and are the heterotrophic. Some of the fungi are also survive symbiont. Some are the parasites. Some of the symbiont fungi live in associated with the algae lichen. Some of the symbiont fungi live in association with the root of the higher plant as microcogia. Kingdom Plantae. The kingdom Plantae is filled with all eukaryotic which have chloroplast. Most of them are autotrophic in nature, but some are heterotrophic as well. The cell wall mainly comprises the cellulose. Plant have two distinct phases in their life cycle. These phases alternate with each other. The diploid saprophytic and the haploid gamophytic phase. The length of the diploid and the haploid phase vary among dissimilar group of the plant. Alternation of the generation is what this phenomena is called. Kingdom Animalia, all multicellular eukaryotic which are the heterotrophic and lack cell wall are set aside under the kingdom. Under this kingdom, the animal are directly or indirectly dependent for food or plant. Their mode of nutrition is holozoic. Holozoic nutrition encompasses indigestion of the food and then the use of internal cavity for digestion of food. Many of the animal are adapted for the locomotion. Sexual reproduction is by the copulation of the male and female, which is followed by the embryological development. Viruses. The virus has been derived from the Latin, which means a poison or the venom or the vicious fluid. They are obligated a parasite, i.e., they can live inside the living host only. They have either RNA or DNA. They have a characteristic of both living and non-living. Plant kingdom bryophytes. Bryophytes are also called amphibians of the plant kingdom because these plants can live in soil, but they dependent on water for sexual reproduction. They are usually occur in damp, humid, and shaded localities. Species of Sphagnum moss provide a peat that have a long been used as a fuel and because of their capacity to hold water as packaging material for the shipment of living material. Petridophytes evolutionary, they are the first terrestrial plant to possess vasculary tissue, xylem and phylum. The main plant body is saprophytes, which is differentiated into true root, stem, and leaves. These organs possesses differentiated vascular tissue. Example are Phyllotum, Equistratum, Dryperis, Marsilia, etc. Gymnosperm are the plant which bear the necked seed, i.e., the ovule, and the seed that develop from these ovules from the fertilizer are not enclosed in the fruit balls. Root is a some Gendia have funnel associated in the form of microgia penis, while in some other cycas, small specialized root called the coralloids root are associated with the nitrogen fixations cyanobacteria. Angiosperm following plant. Angiosperm are the seed-bearing, flowering, vascular plant in which seed are enclosed in fruit. The flower is the most characteristic structure of the angiosperm. The male sex organ in the flower is the stamen. Each stamen consists of a spherical filament with an ender at a tip. The anther following meiosis produce the pollen grains. The female sex organ in a flower is the pistil or the carpel. The pistil consists of ovary enclosing one to many ovules. Within ovules are present highly reduced female gamophytes termed embryo sacs. Each embryo sac has a seven-celled egg apparatus. One egg cell has two synandrids. The three antipodal cells and two polar nuclei. Two polar nuclei. The polar nuclei eventually fuse to produce a diapotic secondary nucleus. Pollen grains, after dispersal from the anther and carried by the wind or the various other agencies to the stigma or of a pistil. This is termed as a pollination. The pollen tube enters the embryo sac where a male gamete and discharged. One of the male gametes fuses with the egg cell to form zygote. Synogamy. The other male gamete fuses with the diploid secondary nucleus to produce the triploid primary endosperm nucleus pen. Because of the involvement of the two fusion, this event is termed as double fertilization, an event unique to angiosperms animal kingdom. Animals are the most diverse group of the organism, multicellular heterotrophs characterized by the mobility, sensory and nervous system. Phylum Porphyria. Sponges are the aquatic, mostly marine, solitary or colline and sessile. Example of some spongy are cycons, spoa, Spongia, freshwater spores, and Esophagia, bath spongy, phylum Colylentrata, Syndria, all the aquatic and are the mostly marine, except Hydra are found in a freshwater solitary or colon, sessile or free swimming are rapidly symmetrical animal. Example Fascilia, Frutiges, Man of War, Artemisia, Sea Anemone, Penitula, Sea Pen, Gorginia, Sea Fan, and Meandrain, Brain Coral. Phylum Centinophora, these are the diphoblastic radial symmetrical animal with is the tissue level of organization. Example Homiophora, sea walnut, Fluborobranchia, sea glassberry, sistrum, Venus griddle, body Phylum Feta helmatus. These are the mostly endoparasites, bilateral symmetrical triplovastic and aculoomate animal with organ level of organization. Example Tenia, tapeworm, fascicola, liver flock, phylum Achimentis. They make a beef free living aquatic and terrestrial or parasitic plant and animal. Example Ascaris roundworm, Euclidus felicity worms, Ancylostoma hookworm, and Croviasis pinworm. Phylum Entredilla, it characterized by the metamorphic sediment forming ring-like segment. Example Nereis, Perimetoma, earthworm, and Herodenaria, blood-sucking leeches. Phylum Entrophoda, they are bilateral symmetrical trifoblastic animal which have organ system level of organization. Example Apis, honeybee, Bombyx, silkworm, Lucifer, leg insect. Phylum Moesca, they are they are bilateral symmetrical tripolistic animals which have organ system level of organization. Example Apis, honeybee, Bombyx, silkworm, Lucifer, leg insect. Phylum Mollusca, they are aquatic, marine or the freshwater or terrestrial having an organ system level of organization. Example Pila octopus, devilfish, Loligo sea spots. Phylum Echinodermata. All existing echinoderm are the marine generally live at the sea bottom. Example: extraneous starfish Cucumeria, commonly called an sea cucumber, Antedons, water lily, or the feather stars. Phylum Hemichordata. They are bilaterally symmetrical, triplobatic, and androculisis animal. Example: Beniogopsis, acorn worm or the tongue worm, Sacoglossis. Phylum Chordata. The fundamental four characteristics of phylum Chordata are the presence of notochord, a dorsal hollow nerve cord paired perineal gill silt and post-anal tail either in the embryonic or adult stage. Example: Haramania, C. Scott, Branchopostoma, subphylum Vertebra is divided into two sections. Section 1 Agantha, the jawless vertebrates, class, second cyclomota, mouth, gel, scantrum, and round or living members are ecrophytes are the some fishes. Example: Petromosa, lamprey, mazarine, hagfish. Section second Gnathostoma, the jawed vertebrates, superclass Piscesa, bear fins, class chondrichthyes. They are cartilaginous skeleton. Some of them possess electric organs. Example: torpedo. Example: Soliodon, dogfish, trigon, stingray class, Ostrocitteus. They have a bony skeleton. Example: marine exosuites, flying fish, Homo capuus, seahorse, Lifusis, angler fish, freshwater fish, Livio, roho, Catla. Sugar class Tetrapoda via limbs class Amphibia, adapted for water and land life. They are oviparous and developed indirect through distinct larval stages called tadpole. Examples: Bufo. They are oviparous and Toda, rana, frog, hyla, tree frog, salamander, Ichthyophis, limbus, amphibian, class Reptilia. The class name refer to their creeping or the crawling mode of locomotion. They are the oviparous development direct. Example: Crocodius, crocodile, Banagorus crates. Class Aves. Words are the bipedal feather animal. Endoskeleton is fully ossified, bony, and the long bones and hollow with air cavity. Phenometric. Example: Corvus, crow, pavo, peacock. Class Mammalia. These are the warm-blooded homeothermous animal having hair and mammary gland. They are viviparous with a few exceptions, and development is direct. Example: Bibioporus, Tracheoguris, and is equal to Echinodina, spiny and theaters, Bipoporus, Peptoporus, flying fox, Camelus, camel, Mica, monkey. Chapter number 12: Microorganism. Microorganisms are classified into four major groups. These groups are bacteria, fungi, protozoa, algae. Microorganisms may be single-celled like bacteria. Some algae and protozoa multicellular, such as algae and fungi. Microorganisms like amoeba can be live alone, while fungi and bacteria may live in colonies. Advantage of microorganisms: making of curd and bread. Milk is turned into curd by bacteria. The bacteria lactobacillus promote the formation of curd. Yeast produce rapid and produce CO2 during the respiration. Bubbles of the gas fill the dug increase in its volume. Yeast is used in commercial production of alcohol and wine. For this purpose, yeast is grown as natural sugar present in a grain like barley, wheat, rice, curses, fruit juice, etc. The process of the conversion of sugar into alcohol is known as the fermentation. Louis Pasteur discovered the fermentation. Medicinal use of microorganisms. Medicinal A medicine which kill to stop the growth of the disease causing microorganism is called antibodies. Stereophomycin, tetracycline, and the athromycin are the some of the common known as antibodies, which are the made from the fungi and bacteria. Alexander Fleming discovered penicillin antibodies are the not effective against the cold and flu as they are caused by virus. Vaccine Edward Jenner discovered the vaccine for smallpox. Harmful microorganism diseases causes microorganisms are pathogens, microbial diseases that can be spread from an infected person to healthy person through air, water, from food, or the physical contact are called communicable diseases. Example: cholera, common cold, and chickenpox and TB. Female and anopheles, a mosquito which are carried the parasite of malaria. Female Aedes mosquito act as a carrier of the dengue virus. Robert Koch discovered the bacteria, vacuoles, and anthracis which cause anthrax diseases. Common method of preserving flood in our home. Chemical method: salt and the edible oil are the common chemical generally used. Sodium benzoate and sodium metabisulfite are the common preservative. These are also used in jams and uh, squashes to check their spoilage. Preservation by the sugar. Sugar reduce the moisture context which inhibit the growth of the bacteria which spoil food. Use of the oil and vinegar prevent the spoilage of the pickle become bacteria cannot live in such environment. Pasteurized milk. The milk is heated at about 70 degrees centigrade for 50 to 13 seconds and then suddenly chilled and stored. The process was discovered by Louis Pasteur. It is called the pasteurization. Chapter 13: Some important fact about human body. Largest and strongest bone in a body, femur. Smallest bone in a body, stapes in ear. Volume of the blood in the body, 6 liter. Number of red blood cells RBC in first in one male 5 to 6 million cubic millimeter. Numbers of red blood cells सॉरी सॉरी दोबारा से बोल दे रहा मैं कि इन फीमेल 4 to 5 मिलियन क्यूबिक मिलीमीटर. लाइफ स्पैन ऑफ आरबीसी 3 to 100 to 120 days. Life span of WBC, white blood cells, 3 to 4 days. Taken time by RBC to complete one cycle of circulation 20 seconds. Other name of red blood cells का एथ्रोसाइट्स. Largest white blood cells, monocytes. Smallest white blood cells, lymphocyte. Who discovered blood group? Carl Landstein. Blood plates count 115,000 million, sorry 15,000 तो नहीं था यार, ये डेटा थोड़ा गलत लग रहा मुझे. 150,000 to 400,000 platelets per microliter. Hemoglobin in male 40 to 15 ग्राम. ये नहीं है, शायद गलत हो गया ये तो. Hemoglobin contain in body 500 to 700 grams. pH of urine 5.6 to 8. pH of blood 7.36 to 7.41. Volume of semen 2 to 5 milliliter ejection. Or normal sperm count of 215 to 400 million ejection. Menstrual cycle at 28 days. Menopause age 40 to 50 years. Blood clotting time 3 to 5 minutes. Weight of the brain 1,300 300 to 1,400 grams in human adult. Universal blood donor O group. Universal blood recipient AB. Average body weight 700 kg. Normal body temperature 30 degrees centigrade. Breathing rate at rest 12 to 16 minutes. Number of spinal nerves 13 pair. Largest endocrine gland thyroid gland. Normal heartbeat at rest 72 beat per minute. Largest gland liver. Largest muscle in a body gluteus maximus or the buttock muscle. Smallest muscle in a body spadius. Largest artery aorta, largest vein inferior vena cava, largest and longest nerve sciatic nerve, longest cell neurons or minimum distance for proper vision 25 centimeter, pulse rate 70 to 72 per minute, or thinnest skin eyelid, or weight of the heart 200 to 13 gram. Uh, Common drug and their uses. Drug and medicine use. Anesthetics, it is a used it is a drug that indicate insensitive to pain. Anti-flu in anti-inflammatory, it is a drug that reduce interstitial gas. Antidepressant, it is a drug used to lower body temperature. Analgesics, it is a drug that is used to prevent to relieve pain. Example, aspirin. Antibiotic, it is a drug that inhibited the growth or destroy microorganisms. Example, penicillin. Antihistamines, it is a drug used to relieve symptoms of cold and allergies. Antispasmodic, it is a drug used to relieve spasm of involuntary muscle, usually in the stomach. Anticides, it is a drug used for preventing or correction acidity, especially in the stomach. Diuretics, it is a drug that promote production of urine. Laxative, it is a drug used to promote a relief in constipation. Types of diseases. List of diseases caused by virus, bacteria, protozoa, and worms. Diseases caused by viruses. Chickenpox, it is caused by varicella zoster virus. Smallpox, it is caused by the variola virus. Common cold, it is caused by rhinovirus. AIDS, it is caused by human immunodefensive virus. Meiosis, it is caused by meiosis virus. Mumps, it is caused by mumps virus. Rabies, it is caused by rabies virus. Dengue fever, it is caused by dengue virus. Vital encephalitis, it is an inflammation of the brain. It is caused by the rabies virus. Har Blix, poliovirus, measles virus, and the JC virus. Disease caused by bacteria. Whooping cough, it is caused by the bacterium called Bord delta pertussia. Diphtheria, it is caused by the Bacterium diphyteri. Chloria, it is caused by Vibrio chlori. Leprosis, it is caused by Microbacterium leprae. Pneumonia, it is caused by Streptococcus pneumonia. Tentius, it is caused by the Clostridium tentane. Typhoid, it is caused by Salmonella typhi. Tuberculosis, it is caused by Microbacterium tuberculosis. Plague, it is caused by the Yersinia pestis. Disease caused by protozoa. Malaria, it is spread by the Anopheles mosquito. The Plasmodium parasite that caused the malaria is neither is a virus or nor a bacteria. Is a single called parasite that multiplies in a red blood cells of human. Amphoric dysentery, it is caused by Entamovia stollitica. Sleeping sickness, it is caused by the Trypanosomobrucia calazar. It is caused by Leishmania donovini. Disease caused by worms. Tapeworm, they are the industrial parasite. It cannot live on its own. It survives within the intestine of the animal, include human. Filariasis. It is caused by threat like filaria, nematode worm. Most cases of filaria are caused by the parasite known as Wuchereria vancorofiti. Pinworm, it is caused by a small tin white round worm called Enter obvious vermicusidius. vitamin mineral deficiency diseases. Anemia, it is caused by deficiency of the mineral iron. Erybophlavinosis, it is caused by deficiency of vitamin B2. Very, it is caused by deficiency of vitamin B. Gautery, it is caused by due to deficiency of iodine. Impaired clotting of the blood, it is caused by deficiency of vitamin K. Quasar, it is caused by deficiency of protein. Night blindness, it is caused by deficiency of vitamin A. Osteoporosis, it is caused by deficiency of the mineral calcium. Rickets, it is caused due to deficiency of vitamin D. Scurvy, it is caused to deficiency of vitamin C. Common human diseases and affected body part. AIDS, diseases affected body part. AIDS, immune system of the body. Arteries, joint, asthma, bronchial muscles, bronchitis, lungs, carditis, heart, cataract, eyes, citrus, bladder, cartilage, intestine, conjunctives, eyes, dermatitis, skin, diabetes, pancreas and blood, diphtheria, throat, eczema, skin, glottria, thyroid gland, glossitis, tongue, glossoma, eyes, gastritis, stomach, hepatitis, liver, tonsillitis, liver, malaria, spleen, many grits, brain and spinal cord, myelitis, spinal cord, neuritis, ear, or otitis, bone, otitis, ear, और न्यूट्रिस होता था नर्व्स में, और माइलिटिस में होता था स्पाइनल कॉर्ड में, और ओआइटिस होता है ईयर्स में, और ऑस्टियोमाइलिटिस होता है बोन्स में। पैरालिसिस हो गया था नर्वस एंड लिम्स में। परकिया हो गया था टीथ में। टॉनिटिस में होता है किसमें, एब्डोमेन में। न्यूमीनिया होता है लंग्स में। रेनिटिस होता है नोज में, और र्यूमेटिज्म होता है जॉइंट्स में। ट्यूबरक्लोसिस होता है लंग्स में। टॉन्सिलिटिस होता है टॉन्सिल्स में। ट्रोकोमा होता है आइस में। ब्लड ग्रुप एंड इट्स क्लासिफिकेशन, के लैंडरस्टेन classified human being 1900 in four groups on the basis of the reaction of their blood A, B, AB and O. Blood group: carrier antigens, carrier antibodies, can donate blood to, can receive blood from. A, A, B, AB, AO, B, B, A, B, AB, BO. Blood group AB, carrier antigen AB, carry antibody, and none can donate blood to. Only AB can receive blood from a universal receptor. O, carrier antigens, none. Carrier antibody A and B can donate blood to universal donor. Can receive blood from. Only O. Vitamins, chemical name, food source, and deficiency diseases. A, chemical name retinol. Sources: milk, egg, fish, butter, cheese, and liver. Deficiency: night blindness, skin dryness. Vitamin B1, thiamine, lumen, or food source: lumens, wols, grains, nut. Diseases: berry. B2, riboflavin, food source: egg, milk, cheese, nut, bread product. Or diseases: inflammation of the tongue, a source in a corner of the mouth. Vitamin B3, niacin or neotic acid, source: meat, fish, pea, nuts, whole grains. Or disease: skin diseases, diarrhea, depression. और विटामिन B5, chemical name pantothenic acid, food source: egg, liver, dairy product. Or diseases: fatigue, muscles cramp, pellagra. Vitamin B6, pyridoxine, or food source: organ meat, cereals, corn. Diseases: kidney stones, nausea, depression, anemia. Vitamin B12, cyanocobalamin, or food source: meat, fish. Or diseases: pale skin, constipation, fatigue. C, absorbic acid, or food source orange, tomatoes, sweets, white potatoes, or diseases, scurvy, anemia, ability to fight infection diseases, vitamin D, Cali sea forel, or food source direct sunlight, fish oil, etc. Disease racket, osteomalacia, vitamin E, tocopherol, or food sources vegetable oil, olives, tomatoes, almond, meat, eggs, or diseases neurological problem of the reproductive systems, विटामिन के फाइलोक्विन और नेप्टो क्वाइनो नॉन सॉरी प्रोनाउंसिएशन थोड़ी ख़राब हो गई यहाँ पे। और इसके फूड सोर्स हैं सोयाबीन, ग्रीन लीफी वेजिटेबल, डेयरी प्रोडक्ट, मीट, और इसकी डिसीजेज है फेलियर ऑफ क्लॉट ब्लड्स। और ना अपनी फिर जो बायोलॉजी थी वो कंप्लीट हो गई है। आई थिंक समझ में आया हो आपको पूरा चैप्टर, और अगर नहीं आया तो कमेंट करके बता सकते हैं कि कहीं पे आपको डाउट लगे तो मैं दोबारा से कमेंट में करके बता सकता हूँ, या फिर मैं दूसरा वीडियो बना दूंगा, तो कोई दिक्कत नहीं है मुझे बनाने में। और बस हम लोग अपने पर चलते हैं अपने लास्ट टॉपिक मिनरल्स की ओर। और मिनरल्स आयरन और द होमोग्लोबिन, आयोडीन और थायरोक्सिन, कैल्शियम और बोन एंड सोडियम नर्व मैसेज ट्रांसमीटर आर एग्जाम्पल ऑफ मिनरल्स। आई होप कि आप लोगों को समझ में आया हो, और तब तक के लिए धन्यवाद। जय हिंद।